Hello everyone, this is Prayana Subba, Assistant Professor in the Department of History, Salesian College, Sonada, tuning into Radio Salesian Lecture Series. This is the third lecture for second semester CC3. Topic is Urban Growth in Northern India. So the last time we were discussing many sites in the Northern India. We had discussed in the North and Western India and the Upper Ganga Valley. Last time I could not complete with the entire of the sites of the Upper Ganga Valley. The only last one is remaining, that is Allahabad. So Allahabad in present UP, it was excavated by Erdossi in the year 1988. Its period 3, that is from which shows the period of occupation from 400 to 100 BCE, shows the signs of expansion of settlement towards the forested area as well, away from the river bank. Now the people have cultivated an art of living away from the river banks with the construction of tanks and all. So they were living away from the river bank, no longer dependent on the river. There we see five tier of settlements. The area was about 3.46 to 5.15 ha. There were networks of towns. Kausambi was the largest site. And there were also other 7 towns like Kara, Shingaraverapura, Jhusi, Bhitta, Rare, Lachagiri, Tusaram in Bihar. The major settlements were, however, along the rivers only. Kausambi was a major fortified city. It was alone 150 ha. There was a defense wall around it. The total population of Kausambi was 24,000. Total population of Allahabad as a whole was 32,000, including the people living outside the walls also, outside the fortified cities. Its period 4, that is from 100 BCE to 300 CE, shows the peak of urban prosperity. There was steady expansion of occupational areas and also population was growing. They were having 200 ha fortified areas. People, 32,000 people were living inside it. Defenses were strengthening, and less of occupation was there outside the wall. The people were preferring more and more to live inside the fortified cities. Total occupied area was about 226 ha. And total population was 36,000. Many arrowheads and skeletons were also found, which suggests there was war and destruction. In its eastern gate, we have found a brick altar in the shape of an eagle. There were the bones of animals and human skulls, suggesting Purushamedha or the human sacrifice. G.R. Sharma in 1960 says that the settlement was expanding in Kausambi, whereas the settlement was declining in Kanpur. Now we have to move into the lower Ganga Valley and also the eastern. Some of the site of the eastern India has also to be discussed. The first site in the lower Ganga Valley is Sahet Mahet or the ancient Sravasti. Its period 3, that is late century CE, shows Jetavana Monastery. Excavation reveals stupas, many other monasteries, shrines, which goes back to the Mauryan period. One of the stupa relic cascade shows the pieces of bones and gold leaf, silver punch mark coins were found there. Rectangular tank was also found there in the monastic complex that belonged to the Kushana period. Another important site is Rajghat. Its period 2 from 200 BCE to 1st century CE. So its period 2 shows us houses consisting of 2 rooms, a vestibule, bathroom and a well. A terracotta ring was also found. Its period 2, belonging to 1st century CE to 3rd century CE, was the most prosperous phase of the site. Another important site is Khairadi, or in the Balia district of UP. Here we found the remains of a street, lanes, 2-roomed houses, also underground structures. Another important site is Ganvadia, is in the Basti district of UP. Its period 3 and 4 belong to Shunga and the Kushana period, respectively. Another important site is Barasa, which was ancient Vaisali in the Muzaffarpur district of Bihar. Its period 1 belonged to 2nd century BC, its period 2 belonged to 1st century BC, its period 3 belonged to 3rd or to 4th century CE, belonging to Kushan Gupta period. There we have found a tank which was called coronation tank of Lichavis. Coins were found, terracotta objects were also found. Another important site is Katragarh, also in the Muzaffarpur district of UP. There we have seen Shunga period fortification, and the site shows 3 structural phases of occupation. Ramparts of burnt bricks were there, massive mud walls were also found. Another important site is Lauria Nandangarh, all in the Champaran district of Bihar. There we have found large terrace stupas, also fortifications. Another important site is Balirajgarh in Darbhanga district of Bihar. There are also large fortified settlements were found with defense walls made of mud bricks. Another important site is Bhagalpur which was the ancient Champa. There we have found brick wall fortification. Brick houses were also there. Drains belonging to Kushan and the Gupta phase. Another important site, Patna, belonging to 100 to 300 CE time period. We have found the remains of an apsidal shrine there. Another important site is Mahasthangarh or Bogra in present-day Bangladesh. It was having an area of 185 ha. Occupational level from northern black polished ware phase to 12th or 13th century CE. There was massive fortification, deep moats were there on 3 sides. It was along the river Karatoya in the northern side and the western side. Apart from that, northern black polish ware, punch marked and copper coins were also found. Chakraborty in 2006 suggests that there was an active trade link through this place towards the entire Southeast Asia. Another important site in the lower Ganga valley was Bangar in the southern Dinajpur, West Bengal. The period belonged to 200 BCE to 300 CE. It was marked with urban prosperity, having settlement of over 1800 by 1000 feet area. It was enclosed by fortification and a moat on 3 sides. It shows 5 cultural phases. Moat fortification was there. Houses were made of burnt bricks, drains were there, cesspits were there. It was identified with Kotivarsha city. It was important in administrative field and politically as well. Another important site is Tamluk or ancient Tamralipti in the Midnapur district of West Bengal. It is also mentioned in many of the Indian, Greco-Roman and the Chinese sources. Its period 2 belonging to 3rd to 2nd century BCE and period 3 from 1st century to 2nd century CE included a period of our study. There were brick tanks, terracotta ring well, burnt brick structures, rollated ware, fine terracotta figurines, coins, seals, ceilings, beads, evidences of writings in Brahmi, Kharoshtri, and mixture of both the scripts were also found there. It was lying along the bank of Rupnarayan river. Another important site is Chandraketugarh in West Bengal. Another important site is Kotasur in the Birbhum district of West Bengal. There was a fortified settlement. It was lying along the bank of river Mayurakshi. Another important site was Pokhara in the Bankura district of West Bengal. There also we see that it was a urban center lying along the bank of river Damodar. Another important site is Mangalkot in the Bardhaman district of West Bengal. It was lying along the confluence of river Ajay and Kumur. It was a large urban center. It was rich. There we have found rich range of antiquities. Another important site is Wari Bateshwar. There we have found the evidences of northern black polished ware, rollated ware, black slipped ware, knobbed ware, an ordinary dull red ware, iron slag, indicating iron smelting, beads of special significance, sandwiched glass beads of Egyptian and Mediterranean type, gold foil glass beads of Roman type, Indo-Pacific monochrome drawn glass beads of especially produced in South India, Tamil Nadu. And there was also trade throughout the trade link from this place throughout the South and Southeast Asia. Another important site is Jaugara. It was lying along the site of Jaugara was lying along the bank of river Rishikulya in Orissa. There we have found early historical settlement going back to 3rd century BCE. It was also surrounded by mud fortification and a ditch. There was also bead making industry. The remains were there. Another important site is Supalgarh, also in Orissa. It is also mentioned in Tosali in Ashoka's inscription, or Kalinga Nagara. It was the capital of the Kharvela kingdom. There we see occupation from 3rd century BCE to 4th century BCE. Its period 1 shows a simple plain pottery, grey and red. Its period 2 shows most prosperous time. The huge mud walls were there, and impressive gateways were there, guard rooms were there, passages, watchtowers were there, brick walls were added later on. Towns were well planned. It was square in shape. Houses were made of stone and bricks. They were having 2 or 3 rooms in houses with large verandas. Streets were symmetrical, crossing each other at right angle. There was a large pillared hall in the middle of the town. Artifacts like red wares, bright polished surface, black and red wares, terracotta earrings, iron implements, weapons, beads of semi-precious stones were also found. But the later phase shows the signs of decline. The potteries were less impressive. They were coarse and dull looking red wares. Crude decorations were there. Other finds of the period were glass bangles, silver and copper coins, several terracotta earrings, clay medallions with human head and animal designs, suggesting Roman contact. Its period 3 from 200 to 350 CE shows further decline. Potteries of red and yellowish red were found. They were coarse and not too well made. Coins were also found, and terracotta ear ornaments were also found. The 2 coin molds were found in this place, which suggests that minting was also an activity in the site. So today we end up with the cities and towns of northern India. First we discussed. So we have completed the cities and towns of the northern India, starting from northwest India, moving towards the upper Ganga Valley and ending towards the lower Ganga Valley. So there we have seen major centers and basic features. Especially we see the use of burnt bricks and structured complexes, and we have seen the mounds being excavated and the artifacts found, terracotta objects, metal works, and many other things being found. Likewise, we will discuss the central and the western Indian cities in the next class, and we'll conclude with the Deccan in the next lecture.